Hi guys, it's Claire Mataro from the Amazon in Peru, and it's the 1st of December 2020. And I'm just having a couple more Baba stories that have been very special for me in my years with him, 45 years with him. Just another little hello to Baba, here we are. These are stories from Bhau Kalchuri, and this is my very favorite book in the whole world, and it's called While the World Slept, and it's by Bhau Kalchuri. Bhau means brother. Baba called him brother. So Bhau was one of the youngest disciples of Mehera Baba, and I met him several times, and he was absolutely amazing. Just a powerhouse of stories, but the stories were always very special because they weren't kind of sweet little Baba stories that you think like, oh, they're usually stories that make you go like, oh my God. Yes, so they're good stories. Here we are with two stories that fit together. They're both to do with Bhau becoming less worried about what other people think of him. So here we are. Faluda on Bhau's head. A third incident also illustrates how Mehera Baba made the men Mandali disciples, pass through certain humiliations. Whenever Baba would instruct me to carry anything on my head or shoulders, such as vessels, luggage or supplies, I always felt embarrassed, because I was a college graduate and such work in India is considered demeaning for an educated person. I was especially bothered when outsiders saw me doing this kind of work, but I would do it because it was Baba's order. The 21st of March 1955, so 65 years ago, being the Parsi New Year, Baba came to the men Mandali quarters and then instructed me to go to Grafton and bring Faluda, which is a sweet beverage that the Parsis customarily drink on that day. I walked to Grafton expecting that one of the servants would be around to carry the large pot of liquid, but as soon as I arrived, two of the women servants lifted the big brass vessel onto my head. It was so heavy they had trouble lifting it together. Grafton was about a furlong from Rosewood, and in between was the house of Grafton's manager, Sorabji Damania, also a Parsi. I went from Rosewood to Grafton every day, and I often met him and enjoyed talking with him. But on this day, because I was embarrassed by doing such menial labor, I fervently hoped that I would not come across Sorabji. I started walking on the road to Rosewood with the load, looking carefully ahead to see whether Sorabji was coming, although my neck was bent and my shoulders ached under the weight. I was relieved that today Baba was kind in that Sorabji was not on the road. But just as I was thinking this, suddenly I heard Sorabji's voice calling, "Sahibji, good morning," and he appeared from a side lane. I felt so ashamed. I continued straight to Rosewood without even acknowledging his greeting. I thought, Baba has not only made me labor much, but he also made me face this embarrassing situation. When I came to Rosewood, Erich and Pendu lifted the burden from my head. Baba asked, "Was the pot heavy?" Before I could reply, Erich interposed, "It's very heavy." Pendu added, "One would die were one to carry such a load for a long time." Baba asked me, "Did you see anyone on the way?" "Only Sorabji," I lamented, and seeing my crestfallen expression, all of them burst out laughing. Baba asked, "Did you feel ashamed?" "Very much so," I replied. "How will you obey me if you feel ashamed to be seen by others?" Baba gestured, because he wasn't speaking. "You will act according to the way of the world, and not according to me. He who has thought for me does not care for the world." Baba then ladled out a portion of the Faluda into a small container and told me to take it to Sorabji. I did so, and Sorabji asked me, "Don't you have any servants to carry the heavy load you had?" I said, We are all servants of Baba. It is our good fortune that he assigns us such work." When I returned, Baba asked me what Sorabji had said, and I told him. Baba advised, "Learn to live like a stone. People trample on it, and in the form of an idol also worship it. But is the stone affected thereby? Not in the least. Whether it is kicked, spat upon, or worshipped, it remains unaffected. All of you should consciously be like stones. You will attain the goal of life if you become like a stone. Here's the other one. This is one of my very, very favorites. Bhau eats like a giant. At the beginning of October 1957, Baba went to Bombay for treatment for his injured hip. Baba had a car accident. The women Mandali stayed with him at Ashiana, and the men Mandali who accompanied him stayed in other accommodation 1.5 miles away. Before leaving in Mehera, Baba told me, "We are going to Bombay. And you know, at Arnavas's the best type of food will be available. So eat well and improve your health." Although I was only eating once a day in the afternoon due to my duties, I nodded in agreement. Baba repeated, "Very good food will be served. Eat heartily." We arrived in Bombay in the evening, and that night Baba again brought up the same subject. "The food here will be excellent," he said, "so don't eat anything outside." We had no money with us, so I wondered how we would be able to eat elsewhere. Baba continued, "Take only a cup of tea in the morning, and then come to Ashiana for lunch. Otherwise, how will you be able to eat what is served here? Despite what I may tell you, eat your meals to the fullest." The next day, when we were all seated for lunch, Baba sat next to me and said, "You are eating so much." I thought Baba was joking and smiled. He said, "Your plate is overflowing. Are you a giant? If you eat like this, what will be left for the others?" Addressing the others, Baba commented, "Look how much Bhau is eating. Does he have any shame? What kind of manners does he have?" And Baba went on belittling me until lunch was over. Every day Baba would sit with us at lunch and make comments about how much I was eating. I felt so badly about it that I began to take only one slice of bread and a glass of water. But Baba would say, "This man has no manners. Just see how he sits there chewing bread and sipping water. Who brought him up?" 20 days passed like this, and Baba did not let up on me for a single day. Late at night, when I returned to where I was staying, I would see laborers sleeping soundly on the pavement. I would think, their life is better than mine. They sleep well at night. In the morning they enjoy a hearty breakfast, while I have only a cup of tea. Just see my life. The next day, after Baba's running dialogue at lunchtime about my large appetite, I got so upset that I left the table. Baba got up and brought a papaya to me. "Eat it," he gestured. "I don't want it," I replied. "Why not?" he asked. "Baba," I implored, "just give me 8 annas a day, and I will make my own arrangements outside for food." 8 annas? What will you eat for 8 annas? He asked. "Never mind what I will eat," I said, "but I will be very, very happy if you'll just give me that much. I don't want this food. I will eat outside. For the past 3 weeks I've been living on 1 piece of bread, and still you don't let go of me and keep saying that I eat like a giant." Baba then gestured. "What instructions had I given to you at Mehera? Do you remember?" "I don't remember," I said, still upset. "Did I not ask you to eat well?" he replied. "Repeatedly I told you to eat well, and the very first day I said, 'Whatever I may say, you should have your fill.' Isn't that so? But you disobeyed me. You broke my order. And every day, when you were breaking my order by not eating, you were breaking my heart. How hurt I felt when you would not eat well." I realized that Baba was right, so I started eating regularly. However, the story doesn't end there. 6 months later, when we were staying at Ganeshkind Gardens in Pune, some devotees from Bombay and Pune were called. At lunch, all sat down to eat, and Baba took a chair opposite to me. He asked me, "You are eating so much? How is it that you eat like a giant?" I just looked at him and continued my lunch. Baba commented to the others, "See how shameless this fellow is. He is one of my Mandali, and I am telling him he takes too much, yet he goes on stuffing his mouth. All all glared at me, but I went on eating. Baba said, just see this man. Does he have any shame? And on it went. Will you all ever behave like this? Baba asked the others, and they all shook their heads solemnly and said no. Baba left after the meal was over, and the guests asked me, don't you have any care for Baba's wish? I was very hungry, I answered. But it was Baba's wish that you shouldn't eat, they argued. Would it have killed you to miss one meal? When you cannot do such a small thing, how can you serve Baba properly? Laughing, I replied, I serve only my stomach. And despite how it appears, it is not against Baba's wish. In the evening when I went to Baba, he embraced me with so much love and gestured, today you made me very happy. I'm very pleased with you. You obeyed me 100% in spite of being humiliated. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Now I have a little song. It's a song that I sang for Mehera when I was in the pilgrims quarters at the Samadhi. I went to Mehera, and she said she couldn't hear it well. I mean, this was in Merazat actually, and I was so kind of shy and sort of embarrassed that I didn't sing up enough. But anyway, here it is. It's a song from Danny Kaye, Tubby the Tuba. I really liked it. I think it was probably one of Ravi's favorite little videos, but this was a good one. Be yourself, you can't be anybody else. Be yourself, is my advice to you, or else you'll always be a nobody. So be yourself, or else. A hippopotamus would look very curious, flying like a butterfly. A fierce and hungry lion would look very silly trying to bake an apple pie. I think you'd dare to laugh if you saw a tall giraffe swinging by his tail from a tree. I think an octopus would look quite ridiculous knitting sweaters at the bottom of the sea. So be yourself and do the things that you know best. Be yourself. I think that you'd be happiest by being no one else but you. Thank you all. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a message. Okay, God bless. Have a great day.